to be honest.
Mhm.
So when I think of Sonic 1, I think it's just like, I'd put it in A or B tier from what it represents. Because it's basically the start of Sonic. It's the start of Sonic. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Yeah, you can never really put the beginning of a series game at such a high tier because everything afterwards either raises or lowers the bar. I think that putting Sonic 1 in B tier is fair because there are some levels in Sonic 1 that are just like, I'm not really enjoying it, or it can get a little confusing later on. I've never fully beat Sonic 1, ironically. I've gotten close.
I've beaten it.
I've gotten close. I've never beaten it. So I would say, just from everything I've played, which is rather far into the game, my brother beat it, but I myself never beat it. I played all the levels though. I would put it in B tier.
Yeah, that's my personal thing. I'd put it in B tier from what it represents. Sonic 2 though, I'd put it in A.
A tier.
Yeah, I'd put it in A.
Sonic 2 is so good. It's a really great Sonic game, period, out of all of them, truly. There are some that would say it would go in S tier because of how challenging it is. The director of the Sonic games at the time, I believe he wanted Sonic 2 to be a challenge, and that's why he crafted the level design the way that he did. So if it were up to me, sorry about that, my speakers were tripping. If that were up to me, then Sonic 2 would be an S tier. But a fair place to put it is an A.
Yeah, I'd put it in A. 3, I'm not gonna rank I will probably do it when I get to the modern games and shit. For the 2D, I'm just gonna keep them where they are. But for Sonic 3, let me find that shit. I'll just include and Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. If I can find that bitch.
They're essentially the same game.
Yeah. So I found Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I'd argue, dude, how fucking amazing. Not only you have to collect the Chaos Emeralds, you gotta collect the Hyper Emeralds and shit like that, and the lore that's in that game, the levels. Yeah. I put it in S in my opinion.
Oh yeah, for sure. Sonic 3 is such a good game. Overall, that's S tier.
Yeah.
We can talk about Sonic 3 for hours.
And I think, let's see here, if we're going down the path of fucking classic, we're gonna have to look through the old fucking games here. Like,
CD should come next.
I'd say it's a good. If I would have put it for at the end of 2D games, I'd put it at the end of right behind Sonic 1.
Yeah.
I'd put it right behind Sonic 1 because it's like.
There are some flaws that I have with CD, but it's really.
I have some good ass stages. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, there's some really great stages. The mechanic itself is really unique from past, present, and future. The game was honestly, people don't talk or say this really, but I think that CD was ahead of its time.
Oh yeah,
even
it was.
The intro cinematic,
Sonic Boom
is cemented in history. It's important to Sonic in general, but there are some serious flaws in terms of gameplay / level design that I have with CD, and that's why
the future and past stuff. It's just like shit.
Yeah, sometimes it's like because of how close together the level design is and the view, like the rate of view.
Yeah.
You really can't see much, so it's hard to get to the speed you need to do the actual past and future mechanics.
And alright, so here's this next game that I have. I'm notorious for shitting on. It's Sonic Labyrinth. It's by far the worst Sonic game I've ever played because it does something. It does something that a Sonic game should never do. Make Sonic slow.
Yeah.
The story is how Eggman takes his shoes and he runs slow as fuck. It is the worst Sonic game I've ever played in my damn life.
Yeah.
And next is Sonic 3D Blast. If I didn't, in my opinion, I really think it's like a C tier game.
It's a C tier game for sure.
Yeah. It's not. It's not. It's like, it's not bad, but it's not good either.
Yeah, like it's fun, but the further you get along in the game, the more frustrating it gets because it was their first time kind of experimenting with a 3D like concept. It's not really 3D, but they were experimenting with a 3D concept, and they executed it well for the time, but it's not perfect.
Yeah.
So it's C.
Yeah. Let's see here. We have what's next. We gonna talk about all Sonic games. So I would say Sonic the Fighters is a good B in my opinion, because that game is fun as fuck. I'm not gonna rank
that
these.
game aged well. Yeah, we're not rating them, but
that shit
Sonic the Fighters aged really well.
The music and shit, like that shit is crazy.
The graphics still look good to me to this day. Like
it's still amazing. It's still fucking amazing. Like, yeah. Let's see here. What is next on the billboard? We have, what is next? Sonic Drift. We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about Sonic.
We don't talk about that. Immediately. We don't talk about that one.
Sonic 4.
Sonic
That's
4.
Not a classic, but we're putting that in D tier.
I'd say it's a good B tier. There's two different ones. There's episode 1 and 2. I'd put episode 1 in C and episode 2 in B, to be honest.
That's fair.
Because episode 1, I don't even want to talk about it. Shit was dog shit. What we do need to talk about is motherfucking, where is it? I had my sights on it real quick. Mean Bean Machine.
Oh, Mean Bean Machine, bro.
That's
a
fucking
A.
I put it in B because it's very fucking fun.
That's a banger.
That's a fun ass game, bro. Let's see here. And next, I think we're getting closer and closer. Where's the Chaotix game? If I can find it. If not, we'll just say it's in fucking dog shit tier because the gameplay is actually ass.
Gameplay is not the best.
It is not. It is not. It's like,
it has one of my favorite Sonic songs ever, Door into Summer, which, if you don't know that song, bro, listen to it. Listen to that song. Game Chops with Rob KTA, he did a remix of it, and it has lived rent-free in my mind for years, bro. Such a great song, but concepts and everything were great too. It just wasn't executed well.
Yeah, it was executed like poorly. For that. Sonic Spinball, C.
Spinball, C.
Yeah.
C. Soundtrack carries it.
Yeah, the soundtrack really carries it hard.
There's just some later levels that it's just like, man. And then, I'm gonna be real, dog. I've only gotten past the first level once.
I don't blame you. That shit is hard as fuck for no reason.
Bro, it's hard, bro.
I think we're gonna get closer to. I think we could switch to like DS games, PSP, like portable games, real quick, and then we'll get to the fucking console games. I'm gonna be real. The first one on my list is gonna have to be. Let's talk about the Sonic Rivals games. Those shits were fucking kind of fire in my opinion.
I never played Rivals. I've seen gameplay of it, and I wish that I got the opportunity to play it when it was big. It didn't sell that well.
Yeah, it didn't.
Those that played it enjoyed it. So I'd say it's
a good B tier game due to the fact that the story is pretty good, and then you have collectibles in the games where you can see certain cards. You'd be like, oh, this is from this game. Like, I like that aspect of the game.
Not even just that, but because of the failure of 06, they gave Silver another introduction to the series in Rivals, and most people don't know that.
Yep. Like, we got Eggman Nega in there. I put Sonic 2 over 1 because it gave us more characters and it gave us more shit in 2. I think next up has to be Sonic Rush and Sonic Advance games. Sonic Rush is going in A, in my opinion.
You think it's going in A? I personally think it should go in S.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you for that one.
And I've played both, Rush and Adventure, and both of them are really great games. I think that Rush is better than Adventure in some ways, because sometimes Adventure can feel a little bit slower in terms of like actually trying to go fast. Both of them are really great games. Both of them carry so well. The story in Adventure is so memorable to me. but there are a lot of extra stuff in Adventure that make it slow down. So Rush is S for me, and Adventure is A.
I don't blame you for that. The reason why I said A is because I'm being a little bit more gracious here and shit.
That's fair.
I'm being a little bit more gracious because, like, of course, it's fucking peak. It's like 2D with the boost formula. Like, how could you?
Yeah, bro.
Like, it's literally that.
It takes not even just that, but the Rush games are so good because they take the legacy of the advanced games and improve on it really well. And especially because the director at the time, for when they were creating Rush, after being overwhelmed with so many of Sonic's friends, he wanted to boil it down to something fun but simple, and that's what Rush is.
Yeah.
And it does it so well. So I can agree that it's A because there's also some problems with Rush.
Like, I'd say fucking if I could find Adventure and shit, then I'd probably put it like behind it, just right behind it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
A. But let's see here. If I could find the Sonic Advance, it's there. It's there.
It's there.
Yeah.
But it's not perfect. 3, there might be some that might disagree with me here, but I think 3 is dog shit. As someone that has played all of the advanced games and the Rush games, 3 was too much. It was too much. And that's why the director decided to take the direction he did with Rush, because 3 had so many mechanics and so many different characters, and they had to craft the stages around those characters' mechanics and also the team mechanic. There were so many things in it. And then the field of view, the death pits, because
there were so much.
As a whole, the advanced series as a whole suffers from death pits, especially 2.
But
sucked. 3 really suffered because it just had too much in it. It was too ambitious for the time that it came out. If Advance 3 came out on DS, then they could have done everything that they wanted to really well. So I would say 3 is dog shit.
I don't blame you for that because my personal opinion, it was always going to be 2, 1, then 3.
Yeah.
That was. I'd be gracious here and put it in 3, but it would have to be right behind Sonic Advance because I still think it's like it's still playable, but you have to be like well aware of the death pits.
Playing out of your mind to play 3 well.
I'd have to put.
So
I'd put in Sonic Advance
1 and 2 before you go to 3.
I'd put Sonic Advance either A or B, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd put it in B to be gracious here. Like if I was thinking of like my headcanon A, but like thinking about it, it's just like I would put it in B.
Yeah, I would put Advance 2 and B.
Yeah.
I can go back and play Advance 2 now.
Oh, Found Chaotix. Found Chaotix is in dog shit now. Okay. Sonic Battle.
Oh, A tier, bro.
That is A tier.
You put that in A tier?
That is A tier.
That's A tier, bro. Emerald was such a good character. His real name's Gizoid, ultimate life form, created by Third Great Civilization or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Amazing lore, horrifying conclusion to his character.
Yeah.
I bawled my eyes out. I cried like a. Yeah. Let's move on.
Oh yeah, another thing. Oh yeah, one thing. I did skip one game, and it was Sonic R. I put that in B because the music. Oh, it carries it so hard.
So much.
So hard.
Okay, I have like opinions about R. Because it was such an ambitious game, especially at the time period that it came out. I believe it was 92.
Yeah, it was like 64.
95.
Around the 64 time.
It was a 64 time. It was a very ambitious game for the time, and its development team didn't finish the game, but still released it. If they got to finish R with everything that they were putting in that game, I would say it would be S tier because it's already carried so well, and because I'm so biased by TJ Davis, she's a wonderful vocalist.
Yes.
The level design is really cool. It's a really fun game to get the tokens and still get first place. Find all the emeralds, get first place, and unlock all these characters. It's a very fun game to like do a completionist run of. It's very rewarding to see all this unique Metal Sonic, Mecha Knuckles, Tails Doll, like cool characters. I would put it in S if it was a completed game, but because it isn't,
I'd put it in B or C,
suffers.
bro.
It will be B or C.
Yeah, I'd say it's C due to the fact that it wasn't finished. It wasn't finished. We're gonna get into that topic later about Sonic 06 right there.
Yeah, well, I have so many things. We should save 06 for way later because I have so many things I have to say about that.
Let's see here, Sonic Chronicles. I'm gonna go in about this one because it's like the gameplay felt boring, but the story felt very interesting.
Really interesting.
It's just a C-tier game.
It was the only Sonic game to tie into the comics, the Archie comics. And we don't talk about Ken Penders. He's ruined the original legacy of the Archie comics because of his own vendetta. But it was such an interesting way they tied in not just the mainline games to the Archie comics, but they also introduced more echidnas. Knuckles is the only echidna, and we finally see more echidnas with, I believe her name is Shade, and her like Legion or whatever it is. I don't remember much of Chronicles, but I do remember loving that one fact that they tied the comics into the game. Especially because I love the comics and the Saturday morning show so much as a kid.
Yeah. I think that yeah, it would be a C-tier game. It's held back by its gameplay.
It's held back so much by its gameplay.
It's held back, and there's nothing I could say about it. Like, it's like,
yeah, there's
like the cliffhanger.
It's unfortunate because it could have been.
The cliffhanger it's set up for a sequel. We never got one.
Yep.
Wait, bro, Sonic Shuffle.
Oh, Sonic Shuffle. That's the Mario Party basically game, right?
I'd put it in C.
Never played it.
It's like it tries to be like Mario Party but fails.
Yeah, I've seen gameplay of it. I've watched Game Grumps play it.
Yeah, it fails in that regard.
It fails, unfortunately.
Yep.
Rush Adventure.
Yep, found that one. I'd put that in C. That's like bottomless to C right there. Alright, let's see here. Now, getting into the console games, I'd say, so we're going to start with Sonic Adventure. You see, when we talk about Sonic Adventure, there's two versions that come to mind in my opinion. There's the DX, and there's the regular original.
Yeah.
The DX is the worst version of the game.
It is, and it's really crazy because I personally really like the way DX looks. I grew up playing DX on my GameCube with my brother.
Same here.
It has a special place in my heart, but I know for a fact that the original adventure on the Dreamcast was much more ambitious, and it shows from just physics, gameplay physics, graphics, everything. It's a lot better. The facial expressions were a lot more expressive on the Dreamcast version as well. So where would you put the original?
I'd put the original, like, because without the ruined. Alright, so let me go in real quick, because for me it's just like when there's a discussion between Sonic 2 and then Sonic Adventure, my complaints with the game is sometimes it can get very confusing on where to go. There is no concrete way to where to go. That's the only downfall of it, really, for me, and the jank. The jank of the game. There's so much jank. Because you could be like, okay, let me spin dash, right? Even sometimes that doesn't work. You fly off. So you still have to be careful enough during certain stages. And Big the Cat, his gameplay was not needed.
It was not needed. I mean,
it was not needed. And for Amy, I could give an argument for her too, because when I played the game recently again, I play it like every so often, and for me it's like Amy feels like Silver, but worse, because you have a faster way when it comes to Amy. You have to use her hammer to propel yourself forward. You can't just walk. She walks way too slow. She has Silver Syndrome. That's what it has. So when I get to those parts, I'm like dreading it. I love her story. I just dread it. I just dread it because
It's just not fun to play.
It is not fun. It is not fun to fucking play. Not fun. I will get into it when it gets to Sonic Adventure 2, but it is not fun to play, and that's the only reason why. If I never completed the game, that would be the reason why. But I would put Sonic Adventure, then DX, because DX ruined the mouth. Like you know how Sonic talks.
Ruined a lot of the mouth animations.
It ruined so many things about the game. That's why I would put, personally, due to how like the big effect Sonic Adventure had, I'd say I put it in A, but DX would have to go all the way down to C in my opinion.
You think so? Wow. I would say it would have, if we're rating B tier, because we haven't rated B tier, I would say even if we were rating B tier, it would have to be, DX would have to be bottom B tier. Yeah. But it's fair putting DX in C. It's fair.
Because like it ruins so many things about Sonic Adventure. It ruins it.
Yeah.
That's what makes it like that bad for me. And I think next on the topic of Sonic Adventure, we're going to talk about Sonic Adventure 2 and Battle. There's barely any differences except just Battle. That's it. And the suits and all that.
Two-player mode.
Yeah.
Two-player mode, slightly better character models and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not much of a different game.
Yeah, we'll just combine the two for this one. I'd say it's higher than Sonic Adventure.
Yeah.
Because that story is so good. It's like
so many things.
Yeah.
So many things. Tails in Sonic Adventure 2 is my favorite iteration of his character.
I don't blame you.
Because Tails was such a badass in Sonic Adventure 2. Sonic was being framed for everything that Shadow was doing. Dude got locked up in prison. Tails was like, heck nah, my best friend is a really good dude. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna break into the topmost secure governmental maximum security prison in the world and break my friend out. Like, he was such an OG in that whole game. He was like, you know what? Nah, Sonic, you can go handle this thing. I'm gonna go find the president. He was all about that. Even when they went to the Ark, Tails was like, nah, bro, Eggman, we about to settle this big dog. We about to scrap. He never shied away once in that game.
Like, my thing is, it's like, with Tails, that nigga was like, oh, since Sonic died, it's up to me to finish this. That's what I loved about it. He was like, it's up to me now. I gotta do what he fucking started. And what I do love is that Knuckles, for me, it's like, niggas could argue that the treasure hunting and the fucking machine, whatever, the mech sections are worse than Sonic Adventure shit. Nothing will overweigh Big the Cat and Amy. Nothing will overweigh that. Nothing in that game.
Probably the least fun I've ever played in almost any Sonic game. Like, truly.
Literally. Nothing overweighs that because it's like, the fuck am I doing fishing in a Sonic game?
Yeah,
fishing?
I'm trying to run fast, bro.
And even then, here's another fucking reason. Tails, all you're doing is racing with Sonic.
Yeah.
That's all you do. With Tails in this game, you're actually doing something besides racing. It's a free win because you're flying.
Right.
So it's just like the treasure hunting stage. The only one I'll give people is either Death Chamber or Meteor Herd. But even then, I'm just jamming to the fucking music in there.
Oh yeah, all throughout.
Yeah.
All throughout.
So that's why I'm not like, oh, like, that's why when people say, hey, I don't really like the treasure hunting stage, I'm like, okay, that's understandable if you're playing Meteor Herd. If you're playing Meteor Herd or Death Chamber.
Meteor Herd.
Both of them are very fucking annoying trying to find shit. Mm-hmm. Like, so annoying. You'd be like, wait, where the fuck do I go? It's like so annoying.
The Emerald detection range was so short.
Yes. But if I'm gonna be honest,
short.
this shit is definitely going in front of Sonic Adventure in that regard.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
In
just period.
fucking Shadow Sacrifice. Oh my god.
Gosh.
Maria, like that man was like, he was like, damn, looks like I secured my promise with Maria, and died tragic. Like that's
Oh
like I was like, damn. And basically, you know,
I
like
see so much fan art of that moment where they're both trying to hold back like the arc from falling into the earth, and it's Sonic in the lead, and you see Shadow start falling behind, and it's like something's wrong. This isn't right, and then you see him slowly falling back, and it's like, oh man.
For me, it's just like, it's like even Sonic was like, fuck, we could have did something to, like, he was like, damn it, because it's like they were both misunderstood. They're like, they're like, oh shit, okay, let's fight together.
They were very.
Let's move on to a game where I think, so there's 3 games what I think is like in the Sonic Adventure 2 kind of era. It's gonna be Sonic Heroes and then Sonic or Shadow the Hedgehog. So we're gonna talk about Sonic Heroes and why I think it would either be at the end of B or on the top of C. Because my thing with the game, it's like team mechanic, okay, it's cool. You know, I like the different type of places and shit like that. But when you're moving around, bro, our shoes like fucking, like, is there soap on the ground?
Yeah, it's
like
a very slippery game.
Like, why is there soap on the ground? There's no reason.
The egg fleet. Oh my god, egg fleet.
I know. It made me, like, bro, it made me not want to play the game ever again because how slippery. It's like, but the one thing I really love about it though, the story. Bro, that Metal Overlord, that is actually a cool ass fucking boss.
That is one of the coolest super stories in all of Sonic. It is one of the coolest final parts of any Sonic game. Because it was like Metal Sonic was the bad guy
the entire time. Man was manipulating everybody from the fucking shadow.
Everybody, like, even Eggman was completely.
He was like, "Wait, what?"
Locked in a closet, bro.
Yeah, he was like, "What the fuck?" But there was one weird things that happened. There was like a couple weird things that happened in the story where I'm like, "What the fuck?" Where there's like a whole side story where he's like, Shadow's like, "Am I a clone?" And I'm like, "Oh no."
Yeah. That was weird.
Yeah.
That was weird.
And then for me, it's just like completing 4 different teams. I think it was 4 different fucking teams, bro.
Yeah.
No. I'll stick with 2, please.
Unfortunately, it was the same levels in the same order.
Yes. So it felt grueling.
Some teams were just not fun.
Yeah. Chaotix. God. Fucking sucked.
Some of their levels, and you had to do different things on the same level.
Yep.
So sometimes it was really redundant, like, especially Chaotix when you had to light 50 flames, bro.
No.
It was like 100 or so, like, torches. Oh my god.
I'm putting this in the top of C, bro. I'm tired of talking about this game, bro. Alright, fucking Shadow the fucking Hedgehog. I have a lot of good things and somewhat bad things to say about this damn game. So for me, it's just like, this was my, this is the funniest thing ever. This was my second Sonic game I've ever gotten as a kid. That was my second GameCube game I've ever gotten. Shadow the Hedgehog. So when and here's the worst part, I had no memory card. So literally, you know what's funny? I was like, damn, what the fuck? What am I doing? And the worst stage for me was like that lava pit stage where you had to fucking ride around that fucking pad or some shit. I hated it. And for me, it's just like, I loved the story of where they were going. I loved the aspects of, you're like, okay, I love the different endings, but I hate how we get to there. I hate how we have to beat every ending just to get the true story. I hate that. Yeah. I don't like that. And all that.
Especially because the super story is really cool.
Yes.
It's so cool. And it suffers because you gotta get like, what, 14, nearly 20 different endings.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to play a certain stage order to get one of them. And it's like...
It's awful.
It's awful.
Like you have good, neutral, bad, then true. And for me, it's just like it doesn't help that the game. It's worse than Heroes when it comes to slipperiness. It's worse.
Oh yeah.
Like that's my biggest gripe about the game, because you can genuinely be like, okay, let me just move slightly to the right. You slip off the stage.
You fly. Like what's Sonic Heroes and Shadow the Hedgehog suffer from is that was during an age where they wanted to reach multiple gaming platforms at once.
Yep.
They wanted it to be on PlayStation and I believe on Xbox and GameCube. So those were the three. Those were the big three back then. Those were like they still kind of are, but
yeah.
That was the age where they were trying to get to as much people as possible. So Heroes suffered especially because between its GameCube and PlayStation 2 versions, there were so many glitches on the PlayStation 2 version that Sonic team had to tell their beta testers to stop sending in bug reports. That's how many there were.
It was terrible. Like but the favorite aspects of the game for me, the multiplayer, you play as actual robots, like quote unquote clones and shit. And I loved the combat. That's one thing I could say. I actually like the combat because you're kicking people. And I like that huge blast he does, or how you could fling forward and shit. That was my favorite part. Doing that shit, getting to that point where you fill up your meter and then you just blast through the stage like it's nothing. I really love that. I really love that aspect. And the true ending, the true story for the true ending, bro, is so perfect and shit. It's so good. He was like, when he said farewell, Shadow the Hedgehog, I was like, yo, this is fire. I'm not even gonna hold you.
Yo, yeah.
That shit was fire. No, like
even
for me,
even Maria's little brother getting a conclusion to his character, I was like, I misunderstood everything about you.
Yep.
I hated you so much and it was not your fault. I've literally been the very people that killed my sister. Like, he had even the general had a great conclusion to his character. Great game, but physics.
Yeah, I'd argue it's higher. I'd argue it's higher than Heroes due to that.
You think so? I don't think so.
Even though I was debating it, I was debating it and putting like fucking like right behind it and shit. Yeah, but talking about the story and the music and shit, I was like, I'm that close. I'm that close here.
Yeah, they're relatively equal.
Yeah.
You consider everything about them.
Alright, so let's see here. The next game, Sonic Riders.
Oh.
Sonic Riders. That is going in A. That is going in A for me.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that shit was like the perfect racing spin-off I could have asked for.
Oh yeah, I'm. Don't get me wrong. I like the Sonic racing games, like Sonic Racing Transform and Team Sonic Racing. I like them, but let's be honest here when I say that they're just low-key Mario Kart ripoffs.
They're Mario Kart ripoffs. Yeah, they are.
And I'm bothered by it because Riders fit Sonic's aesthetic so much. It called heavily on Jet Grind Radio, Jet Set Radio. It called heavily on Hideki Naganuma's whole his vibe, even though the music wasn't made by him. It fit that general punkish rebel theme, and that's just the type of character Sonic is. Not that he doesn't follow rules, but he's free-spirited. He loves going fast, and still at the same time loving to stop the roses, but he's willing to prove that he's the fastest.
Yep. He's
confident about it.
In this game,
Sonic Riders showed that.
Yeah, this game he was like, wait, there's a nigga faster than me on a fucking jet, like on a fucking board? What the fuck? Nah, I gotta beat this nigga's ass now.
Yeah.
Like, I actually kind of like the story. I actually really like
the story's great. The story is actually really good.
And the ending,
don't even we on Zero Gravity.
Catch me.
Just the first writers.
Yeah.
The first writers. The character lore for the Babylon Worlds really good. I loved their concept, and then you get this sense of mystery for every stage that has a tie to the Babylon roads, from the desert level to Babylon Garden, and even just cutscenes in general. Like, what are they looking for? There was so much mystery behind the Babylon rogues, and it was so interesting. Like, it was fun to want to learn more about them. And then we get that in Zero Gravity.
I think low-key, I'd put it, because for me it's like personal grievances I have about Zero Gravity. It's not about the story. It's about certain aspects of the gameplay for me.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, I like it, but bro, I'd rather just drift than hit that Zero Gravity shit.
I feel you.
Bro, like that Zero Gravity shit, when I played it, I was just like, fuck, let me just drift, bro.
I liked it growing up, but I missed the drift mechanic, and also I really missed the air mechanic. They completely got rid of the air mechanic, and also a lot of interactivity between the players. Like, you can dash in Sonic Riders, the first one, and hit players, make them like lose their level, lose top speed, lose max air. So there was like a punishment to it. If you're doing too much boosting, if you're doing too much like tornadoes and things like that, you can run out of air, and now you have to run, get an air bubble, or hit an air station thing. There's no such thing like that in Zero Gravity. It's just solely a racing game. You can't hit other players unless you're in absolute last place. You can't boost unless you're like wasting the gravity points, and even then, that's not the best boost ever. So it suffers a lot, but the level design is really cool. I don't like the drifting Zero Gravity thing, but I do love the Zero Gravity mechanic for riding on walls and dashing off of stuff. That's cool as shit.
Yeah, I put it. Yeah, personally, I think it's just like right behind Sonic Riders.
Oh yeah.
And Free Riders, that is gonna have to go to dog. It's C, lower C, or dog shit, bro. But it's dog shit due to the fact that it's a Connect game.
If they just added multiple control types, it would have been B tier for me, because I've seen the level design in Free Riders.
It's so good, yet it's a Connect game.
It's a Connect game, and
that is what actually fucking destroyed that franchise, like that fucking spin-off
Free
series.
Riders destroyed the Rider series.
It sucks because the theme song is so good, yet it's so terrible. It's so
bad game.
It's such a bad game. Like,
the racing mechanics itself, right?
Yeah.
They went back to air and boosting.
That's the crazy part.
Took the inspiration from the first Riders game.
They did everything right, but made it a Connect game. That's what's crazy to me.
But made it a Connect game.
That's what's crazy to me. If Connect didn't exist, we would have had a good fucking game.
We would still be getting Riders games, without a doubt.
I think next we're gonna go in the territory of, I think, Story Time, then Unleashed, because it was Story Time, Unleashed, Colors. We'll do that. So when it comes to Story Time games, Black Knight beats out Secret Rings so badly.
Slide.
Like, I put it in B. I'd put it in B if I'm gonna be real, bro.
Yeah, I'd have to put it in B if I'm being fair.
Yeah.
But because of my bias, it would be an A.
Yeah.
My bias opinion is A. But on a fair judgment, it's going B.
Yes.
It's a linear game. If you play, all you can do is run forward and backwards. The levels themselves are in literally just a line, and you encounter things in a line. Same with Secret Rings, but unfortunately, Secret Rings uses the horrible Wiimote, and it suffers.
If they had a nunchuck, if you could control it with a nunchuck, this game would be right next to Black Knight. But the fact that you have to fling it forward, backward, stuff like that, you gotta fucking shake the remote, and I'm like, no.
Do a homing attack.
Yeah. So that's why I say that Black Knight will always be in front of Secret Rings. Secret Rings has a good fucking story, has good music. It just falls back. I put it in lower C. I can't put it in
lower C as well.
Yeah, I can't put it in dog shit because those games are notoriously fucking bad. Dog shit is just notoriously bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see here. We got the storybook shit. Now, let's get on to Unleashed. Unleashed is such an
Colors
enigma.
first.
Colors?
Let's
Alright,
do
I'm gonna go
Colors
off
first.
about colors, bro. Playing, bro,
Yes.
when I got back to colors, dog, when I tell
Oh
you,
my gosh.
it disappointed me so bad.
Oh, severely.
Like, as a kid,
That
I did
game
play
did
it.
Not age well.
Yeah.
I played colors so much.
But now,
Non-stop.
when I played it, I was like, this is not as good as I thought.
Oh no, it's not fun. It's not. I will say, like every Sonic game, its soundtrack
It's
is
good.
phenomenal.
Like, for me, it's like what solidified me for that fact is when I played the recent remaster of Sonic Colors and shit. Because, yeah, at the end of the day, it's still the same stages.
It's still the same stage.
It's
Yep.
still the same stages. It's still the same feeling. So, I'm going to play that. What hurt me the most is I was like, bro, what the fuck am I playing? Like, I was like, I genuinely, this is the first time, actually, where I played a Sonic game and I instantly just said, nah, this ain't it for me, and I dropped the game.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like the 2D sections was so kind of just like compared to Unleashed, they were quick. Unleashed was quick.
Unleashed did 2D sections perfectly.
Yeah.
I'll expand on it more later, but I'll keep it short when I say that Unleashed puts you in 2D sections while still making it feel 3D.
Yes. One example, I think Shamar.
Shamar, Chunan
Yes.
did it perfectly.
They
as
did
well.
it. They did it perfectly. Where it still feels like, okay, you're still kind of moving in a 2D sense. You're still moving, and then you get out of that like soon afterwards. In Colors, you're in that bitch for a minute. You're in that for a solid minute, bro.
The entire level.
Yes. And I'm like, bro, if
Like
I'm gonna
the
play a
asteroid
3D
belt.
game, put me in a 3D set. Or at least, like, bro, I put this in fucking end of B because I'm not gonna put it in C because it doesn't deserve that right. I'd be me dissing it, but it goes at B
That's
due
fair.
to the fact that it's like, it being somewhat like a. This is actually Colors is the catalyst for us having Wisp in every fucking game. Every fucking game.
It's not. I can't play that game. I can't. Too many 2D sections. The physics do not feel that good, both in 3D and in 2D, which is unfortunate. Using the Wisp. Yeah, I can keep talking trash on Colors, but it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say on Colors is like the remaster. I thought that it would feel better.
It felt worse.
It felt worse. And it's not even because of the oversaturation in colors, which is its own issue. The graphical glitches in the beginning, which apparently were fake. Some of them were fake. I felt so bad for Blind Squirrel and Sonic Team getting the backlash for those graphical issues.
It was unneeded. People were making
awful.
hoaxes.
Yeah, I felt so bad for them, truly. Like, the remaster suffered in the worst way.
Yeah.
Not just because it wasn't a good remaster, but it just had launch issues that did more harm than good. And not even for the game itself, but because of engine and Switch hardware capability issues. It's okay. Last thing I'll say about Unleashed, Eggman Land. It is truly a final level. The music really feels like dire. Like, this is the final location. We have to mean business and find it, settle the world back together. It makes you literally use every skill, gameplay wise, just about, that you've learned in terms of like just feel like a feel for the game. Like, this is how you do that.
Yes.
They make you use every single mechanic for both Sonic and Werehog Sonic throughout that entire level. You literally have to use everything you've learned up until that point.
And I have something to add to that too. So there's so many shortcuts and stuff like that. I played it twice. On stream. I have a VOD to where I beat it in 28 minutes. Due to the fact that every shortcut, I took every shortcut. And then here's something you could also realize. More than half the time, you do not have to fight every enemy. You could just proceed to the next area. You could flip that switch. You could find the switch in that whole area and literally go to the next area. That's how I found out. And literally that section where you have to fucking side hop, like wall jump, side to side with those saws and shit. Every time I fucking lost that shit, I'm like, wait, I can just kill myself and reset it. Literally, that's what I did. I killed myself, reset it, did the jump, did it. And it's like the shortcuts, once you know that level, once you know certain shortcuts and know what to do, it literally, niggas, I heard so many people say they beaten it like an hour 30 or an hour. I beat that in under 30 minutes. I'm literally telling you, it is when you take every shortcut and you literally are just like, okay, I know what I'm doing. It takes less than half the time you're thinking about. It does. Eggman Land is truly the hardest Sonic level I've ever played. It's the hardest.
It is the perfect final level. It is the perfect final level.
Like, and from there, we should advance to slightly where it kind of.
I got one last thing to say about Unleashed, and then I promise I'm done.
Bet.
I feel like because at the time Sonic Team was really struggling. They've had a lot of failures back to back. I honestly think they were close to going out of business. I think they were close to going bankrupt, but don't quote me on that. I might be wrong. Don't believe that. I truly feel like if Sonic Team was closing down around that time, I feel like the mentality was, all right, y'all, this might be our last Sonic game. Let's make something truly worth remembering. Sonic Unleashed feels like the conclusion to Sonic's story. You literally put the entire world back together against an entity that wakes up once every million or so. Sonic loses probably his closest friend, besides Tails, of course.
Yeah.
Like, he loses someone that's so dear to him, and the only thing he has left is just a simple bracelet to remember him by. And he in the credits, Tails is flying over, but you see him wearing that bracelet. It's like, okay, now that that's done, the Eggman's in some random desert, nowhere to be found. It feels like everything got a conclusion.
It definitely did.
Unleashed felt like the final Sonic game to me. But yeah, that's the last thing I'll say about Unleashed. I can talk about it forever. That's truly a masterpiece. And endless possibilities, but that speaks for itself.
So now we're gonna head into the territory where I think Sonic kind of went in a weird way. For me, we did skip one game, which was Sonic 06. Sonic 06 is such a C-tier game due to the fact that it's like you can still play the game, have fun, but the glitches are so, oh my god. The music's amazing. Crisis City, the story is pretty good, but Elise, bro, that kissing scene, we could have made, like, we could have done without that shit. Other than that,
she could have just started crying over his body and hugged him with the cast emeralds nearby, and that could have brought him back.
Yeah, they didn't need a kiss.
That could have brought him back. That could have brought
to
him
us.
They did not need the kiss,
bro. When she said to me, I was like, bro. To me, to us. I was like, no. It's such a C game. Like, it's like there's a dude remaking the levels. He's basically remaking 06. And literally, he made it to where you could actually control your fucking character. You could actually control Sonic when he's running. You could actually control the bike. You could actually control so much shit.
Yeah.
And you realize how bad it was such a rushed and unfinished product. You realize that shit.
What's even worse is Chaos X, the one who's creating Project 06, the remake. He's never actually played the original 06. He's watched clips of gameplay. He's never physically played that game before.
Yeah. And he fixed it up like it was nothing.
So much better.
Yeah.
I have so many opinions about it. If 06 was not an unfinished game, if 06 was completed without tons of loading screens, display loaders, if it didn't have placeholder lines for like NPC dialogue with one guy going, "Hey,"
Yeah.
that's a placeholder line. You can tell. If that game was finished, it would be A tier for me.
Yeah, it would have been high on everyone's list.
We had a villain that actually killed Sonic.
Yeah, like literally killed. That's like holy shit.
Like Sonic died, bro. He got
Yeah.
pierced through the chest.
Mephiles is such a sinister fucking villain. Didn't he kill Shadow too and take his body or some shit, or just like masquerade himself as Shadow in the future?
When Shadow and Rouge went through the future and got the little scepter, they dropped the scepter, it hit the ground. Shadow was nearby because I think Shadow was the first one to either grab the scepter or was closest to him.
Yeah.
He took Shadow's shadow and took that form.
Oh, okay. Alright. That makes sense. That makes sense why he manipulated the future. With be like, oh, you're an Iblis trigger or some shit.
Yeah.
The silver fight, we're not gonna talk about that one. That shit is ass.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say about 06, and this is a very divisive opinion, I know this. If you go back and look at 06's level design, especially for Sonic's levels, it is very, very reminiscent of the adventure games.
Oh yeah, it is. The Wii U/Wii, like just the Wii U era.
Yeah.
Sonic Boom, I'd have to put it in either low C or dog shit because it's like Sonic 06 but in a worst way.
I genuinely think it's worse than 06.
It's worse. It's like I have to put it. It's like I'm gonna put it in dog shit tier because it's like they have messed up lines. Literally, there was one line that fucking stuck with me, and it said, "We have to de-story this place." I'm like, did y'all proofread the subtitles? The glitches in that game marked a tough period for Sega and Sonic Team. It marked we could have had Sonic Adventure. We could have had a Sonic Adventure remake.
Oh yeah.
But this game ruined it.
Oh yeah.
It single-handedly ruined it. How you gonna make a 3DS game better than that game, bro? That's my thing. How do you make
use Unreal Engine 4?
Yeah.
And Unreal Engine could not be handled by the Wii U. Wii U could not handle that engine at all, and it just glitchy mess, unfinished game. It also wasn't developed by Sonic Team.
Yeah.
Big Red Button did horrible. I'm sorry, y'all did. I'm gonna be honest. Y'all rushed the game for holiday that year. What year did it come out? Like, I don't think it's 2012. I don't know why I'm saying 2012. Either way, that game came out at a horrible time, and they rushed it. If they delayed it till maybe late winter next year, instead of Christmas that year, that game could have been a lot better. Do I still think the story itself was horrible? Yes.
Yeah, the story was mid, bro. Where the fuck did Shadow come from?
Thank you, bro. Metal Sonic 2. All of it. There were so many things that just weren't explained.
It was just weird.
Labyrinth is this weird ancient thing. They took the speed from Sonic. They made Knuckles stupid.
Yeah, oh, they made him, like, in the show, he's funny as fuck, but in the game, it just hurts.
Sonic Boom, the game is horrible. Sonic Boom, the show, is bearable because it's actually funny.
Yes.
The writers know what they're doing for the show. But,
like,
Boom is horrible.
Yeah. Alright, now let's get Sonic Lost World. I'd put that at, I'd say mid-C, to be honest. I'd say mid.
Yeah.
I'd say mid due to the fact that it's like, the thing is, it's like, it's not a terrible game. The music is so good.
Game.
The controls are pretty cool. Sonic is like, he still goes at a very reasonable speed and shit. He's not like, he's not fast, but he's still like, still there. The only problems I have is the Wisp and the fucking, the 6 fucking mutants or some shit.
The Deadly Six?
Yeah, that was
those
boring.
Are horrible villains, bro. That's probably some of the worst villains Sonic has ever seen. Could they have been a lot cooler? Yes. Could they have had better designs? Yes. If they were just normal looking, that would have been better for me.
Yeah.
But they were these weird Yeti looking dudes. I don't know. That was awful. I also think that the game would have been a lot better if it just didn't have Wisp, period.
Yeah. There's no need. There was literally no need.
There was no
You
need for them to
remove
be
Wisp, and you literally would have a better game.
Literally.
If you wanted to boost, use the rings. Like we've
Right.
done previously before. We don't need the Wisp to boost.
You don't need the Wisp. We've had ring energy. Sonic Unleashed did it. Sonic
Like-
Rush did it.
Like we literally couldn't fucking escape the Wisp. And I swear to God, if they come back in Frontiers, that would be my only gripe about the game. If it's like a god tier game, I would literally only have that gripe if they came back.
I really don't want the Wisp to be there. Y'all have Chow. Y'all have a cute mascot besides Sonic for this universe. It doesn't need to be the Wisp. Yes, Wisps are kind of cute looking, but Chow are still way better. Everyone's demanding a Chow Garden game, and y'all are just ignoring us.
Yeah. And now so basically that's all I had to say about Lost World. It was like just like it's like okay, it's good.
It was a
I
good
had some
game.
flaws.
It just didn't need Wisp. It didn't. I
Didn't
love the
need to.
parkour idea.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say about it is, people think I'm weird when I'm saying this, but I actually prefer the 3DS version over the Wii U version.
Don't blame you.
I think it's a funner game. I think Sonic is faster in it too.
Yeah, he was a little bit faster than that shit.
He was faster in the 3DS
Yeah.
version. But yeah, I digress. Because the Wii U version was just Sonic Mario Galaxy, while the 3DS version didn't feel like Mario Galaxy. It felt like a spacey, weird, geometric Sonic game.
Yep. So to fucking get away from that, we're gonna have a mini break. Instead of going Forces and Mania, basically that's literally the last two games. We're not gonna go for fucking mobile games. We don't really like. There's literally nothing much to say about mobile games at that point.
Yeah,
But
we're not going to talk about the Mario and Sonic games.
Yeah.
Those don't count to me.
Yeah, but the racing games. I'm gonna be real. I'd put Transformed in B, and fucking Sonic Team Racing in C. To be honest.
You think so? Team Sonic Race is the latest one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I didn't like the team mechanic.
Yeah. That's weird.
It's okay. It's weird. I don't
It's
like
weird.
it. Let's
It's
see.
weird. Yeah, that's it. That Transformed is, for me, it's better because I like the different modes you take during a race. Those modes, like when you switch, those literally determine what the fuck you're gonna do. It literally determines if you win or you lose, and I love it.
Right.
That's
I don't
what
have a
love
high
about it.
opinion for the Sonic racing games as
Yeah.
a whole because I'm a diehard Sonic Riders fan.
Yeah, Riders just beats it out.
As a whole,
Yeah.
just as a game, mechanic wise, it wasn't too gimmicky. It wasn't trying to rip off something else, you know? Riders was its own unique thing. It's authentic. I'm also someone that plays the competitive mod a lot, and you know, part of that Discord, I highly promote that. Try to tell people to play it because it's fun.
Yep. So now to get into the last really recent two games, and we're gonna talk about the Sonic. This is the most 7 out of 10 game I've ever played for a Sonic game. It's just Sonic
I think
Forces.
it's 6 out of 10.
It's literally the most mid game. It's the most C tier game. It's literally the most C tier game you could get out of me. Like it's so C tier. It's at the end. Due to the fact it's like it not only does it suffer from the Wisp syndrome, the boost is worse. The stages are hella linear
Very.
and short.
They're so short.
So short. Their story had so much potential, but it was shit the moment when Sonic got out of that. Like, we hear about him getting tortured to death and shit like that, and he comes out being a
joke
jokester.
for 6 months, and he hops out of space prison after 6 months. Hunky dory? Okay, still happy? No, that's not realistic.
And it's just,
I
it's
get
like,
that it's a fantasy game.
yeah.
Anyone try to say anything? I get that it's a fantasy game, but any character would go through something. Tails was traumatized. They made Tails a whole punk in that game.
Yeah.
After him being like a badass in Sonic Adventure 2, and even in other games. He was doing stuff in Lost World too. He wasn't just sitting around on the side.
Yeah,
Tails was
even
very
in
outspoken
Unleashed, that man was still fucking at least trying to find some shit out.
Yeah, Tails was still having that Unleashed too. He wasn't a major character, but he was doing something. And in Forces,
they made him classic Sonic's bitch.
Yeah, he made him such a sip for classic Sonic. They didn't know how to write characters.
They dropped the ball, bro. It hurt me so bad because Infinite had so much. Like he basically was Edge personified. I'm like, okay, I see how they're going. The theme was fire. Yeah, the theme was so fire and shit. But then it's just like, the fuck did y'all do? Let me mention about the homing attack. Oh my god, it's worse. It's the worst homing attack I've ever had in the game, bro.
It's so bad.
It's so bad and delayed. It's delayed.
Yeah, that in itself is such a sickly feeling. Created character was cool. You know, you can create your own Sonic OC.
Yeah.
So that gives it like 5 of the 7 points.
Yeah, like for me, it's just like the nigga was traumatized by seeing all your other fucking like allies get killed in front of you, and you're basically left. Yeah. The Infinite literally killed that man. He did kill. Yeah,
Infinite did kill people, and it's heavily implied. It's why our character is so terrified of him. And also, I believe, in the comics, the created character has some tie to Infinite. I think they were friends.
Yeah,
I think they were friends.
They were friends at some point.
And Infinite had his own rebellion, the Jackal Rebellion or something, got completely destroyed.
Yeah, and he got bodied by Shadow. And he got bodied by Shadow, and he was like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. And basically became an experiment to Eggman.
That's such
that shit's
horrible motivation, bro. That's such horrible motivation.
It could have been like, my rebellion was destroyed and shit like that. I'm doing this shit to like, he'd be like, I'm doing this to prove I'm stronger than you all and shit like that. I feel like if he did like a motivation where he was like, okay, it was like, of all the people I've lost and shit, I'm gonna prove that their lives weren't fucking taken in vain and shit like that. I feel like they did that shit, it would have been fucking amazing. Like, they had so much potential because it's like, you see, it was like, it basically, the first teaser was like, oh shit, Sonic's in trouble. Holy fuck, it's a destroyed city.
Whoa. Yeah.
And then it's like, holy shit. And my thing is, it's like, we had a game where Eggman basically won.
Yeah.
And then Classic Sonic didn't need to exist.
He really didn't need to be there.
Can we talk about the bullshit how the created character in Sonic basically ran so fast they got out of fucking warp, like out of a different dimension or some shit?
That made me so mad because Eggman succeeded in completely erasing Sonic. He removed him from their literal dimension.
Yes. And they came back like it's nothing. And they
came back in less than a day.
Yep.
Probably less than a few hours.
But with the created character, the created character couldn't fucking move that fast, my nigga.
Created character can't boost on his own. We need Sonic to be there just to boost. That's stupid. That's stupid.
He's basically flailing like fucking paper, bro. That's what he is. He's flailing like paper while fucking Sonic's doing all the hard work.
Yeah, it's so... I think if they were in the no space for so long, there should have been, I don't know, 5-6 stages. I know that sounds like a lot to some people, but because Forces is so short, 5 or 6 stages would not have been that much at all.
I'm gonna be real too. They could have easily had fucking Silver be like, okay, I think I found a way to get them out of the space.
Silver could have helped them out. This dude time travels. You don't think he can know?
Exactly. I think the most badass line I've ever heard him say was like, "Do you think anybody would bleed those lies?" I was like, "Yo!" That nigga was going in, and I loved it.
Yeah. I also love the role that Silver played, and emphasized it even more so in the comics and improved his character arc in general after the war in the comics. They did that so well.
Like, that man came back, he was like, oh man, not again. He
was like, oh man, everything's not in rubble. This is good. Wait, something's wrong. I don't hear anything. I don't even hear bugs. I don't hear no crickets.
The entire planet was robotized. Eggman was gone. Everybody was gone.
Yeah, that was so sick.
Yeah.
If we get a Forces sequel, I wouldn't mind them going off of the IDW comics.
I have hope now. Well, you know, let's leave that discussion right after we do Sonic Mania. But Sonic Mania is an S.
Oh yeah.
It's an S.
That is
unanimous.
The best Sonic game in the last 20 years.
It's an S. It's like literally unanimous. This is the best.
It is it's over Sonic 3 for me too.
Yeah.
Because it is such a perfect example of what the original Sonic games were. It took that legacy and handled it so well. There was so much love in Mania, more so than Generations. And there was a lot of love in Generations. A lot. But Mania had so much precarious care put into it. And first of all, Christian Whitehead and his crew, outstanding. Christian Whitehead, if people don't know, he did the mobile remakes for Sonic 1 and 2. He also completely recreated a lost stage, the Emerald. Completely recreated that from nothing. He just had the general layout of the stage. You can still explore the stage, but the sprite data was lost. He recovered all of that, remade that stage. Impressive! He handled the physics of the original games well. Impressive! And took that and put it in Mania. Took elements from CD, put it in Mania. Took what was best from 1 and 2, put it in Mania. It took just the general charm of 3, put it in Mania. It was a perfect celebration of the start of this franchise.
They did so much good shit. The music was amazing. The stages.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have any problems with it. It's just that the special stages, when you first play it, was hard as fuck. That's it.
Oh yeah.
It's the best special stage.
Special stages are very reminiscent of Sonic CD too.
Yeah, I think it's the best, honestly, though, because it has that difficulty spike. Like after the first Emerald, it gets so hard. By the fourth and fifth Emerald, you're struggling for dear life.
For sure. It's no longer fun in games anymore once you get to those later special stages. They did their thing on that.
Yeah,
man.
They did Sonic Mania so well. Out of the two games that came out, literally Sonic Mania and Sonic Forces, Sonic Mania came out on top because it actually did something the fans wanted.
Yep. And to make things better, it happens for Sonic Mania happens for Sonic. Classic Sonic right after Generations.
Yep.
Classic Sonic in Mania is Classic Sonic from Generations. They made a different timeline, bro. They made a different timeline. So if they wanted to create classic Sonic games, they have a new timeline to work off of. Sonic doesn't have to go through every exact same thing modern Sonic did. They can create new stages. I mean, look at Studiopolis. That's a whole new stage. There were other new stages.
You know what's crazy?
Mania.
In Sonic Mania Plus, they even added Metal Overlord in the fucking game.
They did.
That's there was a different metal form. There's a different Metal Sonic form.
Wow.
In the game, like in Sonic Mania Plus, there's a different Sonic. Like there's a different boss from what you're fighting. It's literally him, and all you gotta do is dodge his attacks or whatever. But it's still like, holy shit! Wait, what? It's a big ass giant Metal Sonic mech that you gotta fight.
Oh yeah. I remember seeing it. Yeah, I've seen videos of it. I never played it, but I remember seeing videos of it. Great game, masterpiece. I really want them to hire Christian Whitehead and his team again, and make more classic style Sonic games with sprites. I want that. Most people be like, I've had enough of classic Sonic. No. I've had enough of classic Sonic being in modern Sonic games. Doesn't need to be there.
Doesn't.
Let classic Sonic have his journey. He didn't need to be in Forces. He stopped the Phantom Ruby from destroying his timeline. It went into a different portal. He could have assumed that it was over. He didn't need to jump in. First of all, he didn't even need to. He could have jumped in and still not shown up in our timeline for modern Sonic. He didn't need to show up. It could have just been.
Literally, there was no reason to bring classic Sonic and Sonic Forces. There was no need and all that. And if he shows up again in the future game, I'm gonna be fucking sick of it.
I'm gonna be so mad because he doesn't. He's there for hype factor, but everyone's trying to tell Sonic Team he's not bringing the hype you think he is.
Yeah, after Generations, we do not care.
We do not need him here. Give him his own journey. They've made him a unique character in Generations and in Mania. We've gotten to see some of that charisma that we've seen in Boom. Because you can tell in the opening cinematic of Sonic CD, that whole Sonic Boom thing, it was so sick, right? Because Sonic is destroying some robots and then the flowers spread up and then he smirks confidently. It shows that he's like this sassy, not overconfident, but extremely confident character. Then we see that in opening for Mania with his friends. He's very proud of his speed. He's very proud of his friends, and he knows that he's fast. He knows that he's good. He's his own character. He's different from modern Sonic. They're still the same guy, but classic Sonic has his own unique character. He went through his own unique stages in Mania. Continue doing that. Make a new classic Sonic game that follows, that's separate from modern Sonic, and make new stages, make new bosses, new characters. You can create modern characters in the classic format and make them different. Make classic Blaze, make classic Silver. That would be sick.
There's so many things they could do. There's so many things they could do. And here's another